Hi guys, welcome to Multiverse. Today we are going to take a look at the yellow metallic chroma. As you can see with like the other chroma, there's three versions of the yellow chroma. So let's take a quick look. So let's start with yellow metallic chroma 1. I will take a quick look at each variation of the chroma style, but then afterwards I will create a few looks to show you, try to show you a bit more what the material looks like. Or to show you the possibilities with the material, I should say. So let's go with Metallic Chroma 2. So Metallic Chroma 2 seems to be the one you want if you want to have a lot of yellow on your character. Our friend Crypto is here. So let's take a good look. And Metallic Chroma 3. So the Chroma 3 is the one you want to use if you want to have a lot of black with your character. Although like with the other materials, the black is not 100% black. There's in this case, there's a yellow tint to it. So depending on the character you want to create, you may decide to go with a different chroma, even if you put it black. Like for example, for a Batman type character, I guess I would be tempted to go with the blue chroma to fit more with the feel of the character, even if I use the black. So the black-blue chroma is what maybe I would use for a Batman character. So as always, where can you get the yellow metallic chroma? Let's take a look. Technically, the metallic chroma comes from the booster gold. Once you purchase and open booster gold, you have a chance to get the metallic chroma reward box. And sadly, I can tell you from experience, you can easily open 20 booster bundle and not get the chroma material from those. Sadly, it happens. We see people on the forum who are a bit mad about that. A lot of players, well, at least a few players, seems to have gone long streaks of opening a booster bundle, opening 20 or more booster bundle, and not get the chroma material. I know it's not the answer that people want to hear, but your best option if you want to be sure to get the chromas is from the marketplace. If you already know you want the blue metallic chroma, then you could purchase it a bit cheaper, but odds are you're gonna have to purchase the metallic chrome reward box, and from the reward box then you can choose which color you want. And sadly, the price it goes about between 275 millions to 300 millions, but it depends sadly how many there are for sale. Like right now you can see the cheapest one is 290 millions. And they seem to, even at that price, they seem to go out fast. Like basically, I purchased the yellow chroma yesterday for 275 millions, and there was half a dozen other reward box to purchase, and just like 2 hours later, all the reward boxes were gone. So at first I thought I would wait to see maybe if the price would go down a bit, but right now it seems if you see it at around 275 millions, it's about as low as it goes before people purchase them. I know some of you guys don't like it when I say that the best option is to buy it from the broker because it means playing the broker game. Sadly, it's the better option. If you spend $200 on opening a booster bundle, and if you do that specifically with the idea of getting the chroma material, you might be disappointed because they seem to be pretty rare, which is why also they're selling for like 300 millions more or less. And I know some of you seems to think that I purchase cash from the cash seller. I don't do that. Some of them even offer to sponsor me, and I don't do that. As I always tell you, the only way to really make cash in this universe online is to use a broker. And sadly, you cannot just use the broker, try to sell 2 or 3 items, and think that you're going to be a billionaire. It doesn't work like that. As you can see, you have to sell literally hundreds and hundreds of items, either collections, styles, anything you can get your hands on. Ideally, obviously, you try to get some more valuable items to sell. But at the end of the day, the only way to really make millions and lots of them, is to sell hundreds and hundreds of items. I'm sad to have to tell you that, but that is the only way to be able to get the money you need to be able to purchase those materials, or to be able to purchase anything valuable from the broker. So now that I've broken your heart by telling you that it's going to be hard and it's going to require a lot of work for you to get those materials, let's take a look at a few variations with the yellow chroma material. Obviously, the first option that comes to mind is to make an evil yellow Sinestro Corps character. Here in this case, I reproduced a somewhat good version of our friend Sinestro. I thought I could use the Disciple of Parallax set of gear. Basically, I toyed with the idea of equipping the character with the complete Disciple of Parallax set of gear. But it turns out that with the chest piece, the material covers the emblem, so you can't really use it with the Disciple of Parallax. Actually, let me show you what I mean. Like you can see here, the emblem is completely covered by the material. And also, sadly, the way the colors are separated, there's no way to be able to get... Like, I would like to have the gray part black in order to make a nice Sinestro Corps character. Sadly, it's not an option. Even with the three materials, you can't get the proper way. Basically, I would like to have the black part here black, but sadly, as you can see, it's black and gray. And if I put the gray yellow, sadly, the part that used to be black is now gray. So, and the other one is yellow and gray. So sadly, it doesn't really work with the Disciple of Parallax style. But as you see with the streak slimline, poor crypto. With the streak slimline, it works well enough. And you can still use a few pieces of the Disciple of Parallax style, just not all of them. And of course, I'm using the Spindrift shoulders in order to be able to get some extra evil Yellow Lantern emblems. Another option would be to create the man in the yellow suit from the Flash TV show, although here I made it a Yellow Lantern character, somehow mixing having the Reverse Flash being a Yellow Lantern. Kind of makes a lot of sense in my head, but maybe I'm crazy and it's just me. A few of the drawbacks though is like you can see the little wings on the side of the headpiece. Sadly, you have to settle for them being white as opposed to the red that they should be. But I'll show a variation of our friend Reverse Flash in just a second. You can make a pretty cool version of our friend Reverse Flash if you have like the red and the yellow chroma material. Sadly, just getting the one material, as you saw, is very pricey. Getting more than one of them, it's going to be a bit more difficult.
Why did you place that there?
But if you plan it properly and if you purchase only the two materials you really need, that could be doable. Of course, you could try to get a bit closer to the look of our friend Reverse Flash. Let's try it out. And of course, here I had to... Basically, I didn't put any material on the belt. Oh yeah, the belt is the wrong color. I just realized the belt was the wrong color for the evil Reverse Flash. And also, I'm not using a material for the belt. Otherwise, basically you have all three colors in the belt, and it messes up the design a bit. So I decided to bite the bullet and just go no material on the belt. And we could try to go one step further to be a bit closer to our friend Reverse Flash. And if we use the scuba style with the red and the yellow chroma material, as you can see, it allows us to have a pretty darn good version of our friend Reverse Flash. It's not exactly it. Obviously, we end up with a bunch of white lines. And of course, the gloves should be yellow with the trim of the glove, the edge of the glove red. But sadly, with the materials, that doesn't seem to be an option. So I made a compromise like we often need to do in this universe online, and I decided to make the gloves red instead of making them yellow. And I made something that I know some people will be crazy about. I made an X-Men costume. It's not exactly it. I would need to use the new Genesis pants. Sadly, the new Genesis pants don't give us what we need in this case. And the same with, I would use the slimline chest piece. Sadly, there's no way to be able to get the card colors with the slimline chest piece, so I had to make a compromise and use the streak slimline instead. So it's not exactly accurate for the X-Men, but it creates a pretty darn good looking X-Men look for our friend Cyclops. So if you could use the yellow material to create some X-Men characters. I will show you a few examples. But pretty much any classic X-Men, any X-Men that were using the classic yellow and black costume could be recreated with that material. So again, as an example, here we can have a pretty good version of our friend Angel in the time when he was using the yellow and black X-Men costume. Yeah, they didn't have an X emblem on their chest. The emblem was actually on their belt, buckle of their belt. But sometimes within the context of DC Universe Online, we have to make compromises to get the proper look for our character. And again, I know some of you guys don't like it when I use Marvel characters in a DC game. I'll probably make a video about the cleavage in the fan base between the Marvel fans and the DC fans. I'll have to give it some thoughts. And last but not least, here's our friend the Wolverine. Again, yeah, I should be using the New Genesis pants. Sadly, I cannot get the right color combination for the pants to make it work, so I had to cheat a bit. The same with the chest piece. I thought I could use the chest piece you can get in Central City. The name escapes me right now. Sadly, again, trying to get the right combination of color wasn't really an option. And obviously, to recreate the look that you're seeing right now, you're going to need two materials. You're going to need the blue chroma material and the yellow chroma material. For the belt, I settled with no material, obviously. And sadly, as you can see, the eyes of the character are black because of how the material actually works. So that is going to be pretty much it for the yellow chroma material. So again, technically the material comes from the booster bundle that is currently available on the marketplace. Sadly, the odds of getting the material, you could easily open 20 booster bundle and not get the material. So unless you can afford to spend $200-$300 on booster bundle, sure, go ahead. But if you're opening a booster bundle hoping to get material, and if you can't really afford it, again, I would strongly suggest bite the bullet, play the broker game. Again, as I mentioned, I'm going to repeat it because I think it's important and some of you guys don't seem to quite grasp it. The only real way to make a lot of money in this universe online is to play the broker game. You have to sell a whole bunch of items on the broker. So that is pretty much it for now, guys. If you have any questions, feel free to ask so in the comment section down below, and I'll see what I can do about answering your questions. So as always, guys, thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.